You know, when I reflect on my 27 years serving the people of West Central, St. Andrew, and the people of Jamaica, I feel humbled and privileged to have had the opportunity. And I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity. You make me stronger. I don't do this for power. I don't do it for fame. I don't do it because I want letters behind my name. I don't do it because I believe I have any entitlement. I don't do it because I believe I am better than anybody else. I do it because I come from poor circumstances and I have been through the same struggles that you are going through right now in your communities. And I made a vow to myself and my mother that I will lift myself out of poverty and I will lift the people of Jamaica out of poverty. That is why I do what I do. That is what motivates me to serve. When I left high school, I never knew where the first dollar was going to come from for me to go to university. So I couldn't go to university as I graduated. I took a job as a pre-trained teacher. And I work and save up my university fee. I take a student loan. And I couldn't pay my student loan. My name come out in a paper. And PMP take it cost me. But you see, they don't understand. They don't understand the struggle. They don't. My father is a PNP. And my mother is a laborite. So I know the two different mentality, the two different philosophical outlook on life. My mother was a civil servant. She earned civil servant pay as a clerk. She was a single mother. She was a frugal lady. She saved up and she take her time. And she gets an NHD house and she managed to put on one little kitchen on it and then she put on a bedroom on top of it. You would never know when we don't have food in our house. Never ever know. Because though we were poor, we were proud. So I want to say to all of you here, poverty is not an excuse. Now, when I was growing up, I learned some hard principles. The first one is, by the sweat of your brow, you shall eat bread. So I have never been afraid of hard work. Anybody who know me, I have 28 hours in my day. The people who work around me, them complain, but they don't complain to me. Because they know what my work ethic is. And I work on your behalf. The second principle I learned is that there is no wealth without sacrifice. A lot of people want to become rich, but they don't want to sacrifice. They don't want to work. They don't want to save. There's one thing that cemented in my mind as I was growing up. Is that Edward Siaga captured my attention. So yes, I grew up in a Labour Party household. But Edward Siaga captured my attention. And that was primarily because he was a man who believed in these principles as well and believed that Jamaica could be much better than it was. And he believed in fixing the economy. And when Jamaica went through a difficult time after the 70s and he took over, I admired how he recovered the economy. I particularly admired, as a youngster, how he managed to recover Jamaica after Hurricane Gilbert. Enough I want to hear no know when Jamaica got through during Hurricane Gilbert and how Edward Siaga restored Jamaica. But in the summers, I used to go and spend time with my father. And that is where you start to learn about the unfairness in our society. The great wide gap between those who have money and those who don't. Those who have access to better health care and those who don't. Those who have access to better education and those who don't. Those who live in good house and good community and those who live in inner city. This wide gap. Those who have access to land and those who don't. The unfairness of the Jamaican society. So I don't believe that the PNP mentality is totally wrong. I believe that every government must have a sense of equity and fairness and compassion and particularly, I don't say sympathy, but empathy for the poor. When I was growing up in 89, I put together a scrapbook. And there was two important points of view that I captured in that scrapbook. One of them said, by Edward Siaga, it takes cash to care. Don't know how many of you remember that saying. And another one said, we put people first. I believe that those two themes were the campaign themes in 1989, if I'm not mistaken. The two themes are not incorrect. Governments must put people first. Even if you don't have cash, your ambition, your policies must be people-centered, and you must put people at the center of the policies that you have. But if you don't have an economy, then you come in like a man who have sweet mouth. And all you can do is tell your woman, baby, baby, I love you, And the baby a ball for nappy. And the other one a ball for school fee. And all you can say, so woman, say how me love you, how me good, how me nice, how me treat you good. But you don't have no money. Now you can imagine that an electorate can be wooed by people who have sweet mouth and make enough promise. And then you fall in a situation when those promises cannot be fulfilled. You become very frustrated and angry. We don't want that happening in Jamaica. That happened in 1989 to 2007 when the PNP captured the minds of the people for 18 and a half years and led us into the greatest depression and destruction of the institutions of Jamaica that we have seen. It happened in 72 when the PNP led us down a path that totally wiped out our middle class, totally wiped out our economy, and we had to build it back. This is a local government election. I should not have to be on this platform. I should not have to be going around the country. But such man, in his power hungriness, is trying to get his hands on the economy that we have built. I will not allow that to happen. The PNP must never touch the economy that we have built. Never. There are many young people in this audience who will not immediately get the message. But those who are a little bit more in age will understand this message, that we cannot allow the PNP to ever get hold of the economy of this country again after we have set it right. Never. I want you to understand what is at stake here. You see them come out and I make all kind of promise. Them want to spend off the money that them never make. Them want to spend off the money from the economy that we have sacrificed and built. And if you let them do it, they understand nothing about managing an economy. They cannot handle the politics of the country because within their own party, the forces of spending carelessly are very strong. You think we don't have the pressures of spending in our party? And we have to manage it carefully, that any expenditure that we do must not increase debt, must not increase taxes, must not imperil our balance of payment and our resources. And we have managed to do that well so far. Keep our exchange rate stable and keep our reserves stable. PNP don't have no clue about that. Some of you in the audience don't have no clue about that. But that's fine. That's why you elected us as your government to take care of those business for you. So, we are at this point now where you have a leader that understands both sides of the philosophical outlook of our two political ideologies. We are the government that puts people first meaningfully by creating an economy that generates the cash to actually put you first. And we have done that over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. During COVID, when whole heap of people were laid off, we are the ones who put up a $40 billion care program that carried many households through, in addition to just giving care grants of $10,000 and $15,000 to the average Jamaican. After COVID, when prices went up sky high. It had nothing to do with us. And I know it made you miserable because prices were going up. We understood that. And we took a measure where we gave a subsidy for electricity. If you consume under a certain amount of electricity, you got a subsidy. We see the bus fares going up, and we say, all right, we're going to give a subsidy and reduce the bus fare. The PMP then run out and say, you see me to tell you, say, giving an increase to the taxi men would cause inflation. Let me tell you something. Driving, coming here today, a taxi man see me and he said, you know the nut for taxi man. And I pull back in on myself and I say, really? Really? When last under PMP taxi man get a fare increase? We are the ones who gave them a fare increase because we understand the balance that has to go on. Taxi man have to live like everybody else. We know the impact and we are skillful enough to manage it, to look at it and say, all right, taxi man, all right, we know say you have to get a bus too because everybody else get a little bus in the public sector wage. We increase the minimum wage and the impact of that, we say, all right, we're going to give a little subsidy now to those who have to take taxi. That is how we care for you. If you take JUTC and you take bus, we give a little subsidy. That is how we manage and balance the thing. So that every sector can say the government and look out for them. So we do it. And we do that without this, which I want all of you to pay attention to now. From 2016 till now, when last have you heard of a new tax? From 2016 till now, no new taxes. Only the Jamaica Labour Party can do that. Under the PNP, when budget is being read, everybody nervous, every businessman nervous, every shopkeeper nervous. I wonder, where is the new tax coming? You don't have to worry about that because the economy is stable. Stable. So now we are at a point that having fixed the economy, we must now focus on fixing the things that matter to you. I drive around the country, people complain about road and water. The complaint here might be a little different. It might be water and sewage. So I want to tell you what we're going to do in my constituency. And I don't want the other MP them to get jealous. When I came here as MP, there are two parts of the community where housing is a real problem. St. Paul's Lane and Lime Tree Lane. They are informal communities. I came here and I saw them. They have been there for 50 years. People just move on to the land and then build up. They don't have any formal water supply and they just live in. There is no intent for the land. If anything, it is to help them to regularize their living. So if you just go down the road, you will see what we have been doing in St. Paul's Lane. We have built over 24 new housing solutions there for the families, totally transforming St. Paul's Lane. And I think we might have to change the name from St. Paul's Lane to St. Paul's Gardens or some other name like that. Then, As soon as that is finished, I'm going to turn my attention to Lime Tree Lane because their situation is really bad. Minister Clark and Minister Williams have communities like St. Paul's Lane and Lime Tree Lane. St. Paul's Lane is a test case as to how we are going to regularize persons who have informally occupied lands without displacing them, meaning without sending them elsewhere. The people there, we have decanted them, meaning we have taken them off the site. Some of them we pay rent for them, and some of them catch it somewhere, and some of them just go on holding on until they get through. In another couple of weeks, we will be able to hand over their houses, and they will be the happiest people in Jamaica. We're going to take that model, and we're going to go right across Jamaica, looking at these little communities that have sprung up informally, and we are going to use the same model of finding a place for the people who were there so that they can live there temporarily, and in quick time we erect new structures and we give it to them. So that is a new program that we are going to launch officially in the next budget year, right? So that you can look forward to that. The other thing we're going to do here, we have to put in sewage here on this road that we are on Olympic with. Because there are some housing schemes here, plus more housing schemes to come, and we cannot continue to use pits and soakaways. They have literally contaminated the water table in Kingston. So we have to be thinking about the future and how we protect our water. And therefore houses, all of this that you see here, eventually, when we put in this line coming from Bay Farm Villa, going all the way down to connect to the line in 3 miles, all of you now will be able to have sewage. And we're going to sewer the entire area, because in the next 50 years, water is going to become a scarce commodity. And we can't continue to have our water table being impacted by how we dispose of our sewage. You see, the GLP think 50 years ahead. You know, hear them talking upon PNP platform. All PNP worry about is power, and that's all they tell you about time comes. They're not dealing with the issues that really going to affect you and your family. In another couple of months, we're going to start the indigent house. We're going to start a golden age home that can house 20 old persons from the community. Now I know that there are a lot of old people living here by themselves. There's not nobody to take care of them. So we're going to build that. I say all of this to say to you that this crowd that is gathered here, you don't just come here to say shower. When you leave here tonight, you would have heard something transformational, something substantial, something that justifies you coming on the motorcade, putting on your green shirt, even when your friend them a cuss you and say where you get from politics. What you have heard here tonight justifies your support for the political process. And you know that in me and the team, you have leaders who genuinely care, who are not going to give you 6 for 9, who are not going to give you empty promises. We put people first, and we have the cash to actually do it. Laborites, I love you. On the 26th, you will have an opportunity to cast a vote. Your vote is a verdict. That's what it is. I ask you to return a verdict, a victory for Glendon Salmon. Victory for Christopher Thousand. Victory for the most astute political mind, for the best mayor in Jamaica. Victory for Delroy, Brother Williams. I ask you to return a verdict of victory for the Jamaica Labour Party government. Such man has turned this election into a national election. I don't know the kind of big brain mathematics that them use. But simple politics tell me, those stir up a sleeping lion. Don't trouble when I trouble you. Who tell you it was stir up Labour Party and yes? So Labour rights, I want to see all of you come out like a swarm of bees on them on the 26th. I want to thank them for waking up the Labour rights all over Jamaica. I want to thank them for giving me the opportunity to get back out on the road and tell you the things that go there. I want to thank them. And as I close, today is the birthday of the founder of the Jamaica Labour Party, the Right Excellent Sir Alexander Bustamante. Labour rights, I want you to give the loudest shower you can say for our founding father of the nation and of the Jamaica Labour Party, our national hero, Sir Alexander Bustamante. Shower Labour rights. The party anthem. Party anthem. Equal rights and justice.